All right, we are continuing our discussion in our lecture series in high performance manufacturing. We are moving on to chapter 7 on meeting our customers' needs. So, as we go through this chapter, obviously we need to be able to identify customer needs. We're going to talk about certain key terms like what is a customer, what's an external customer, what's an internal customer, what are we talking about when we refer to as synergy, going on, and goal alignments, and of course stakeholders here as well, and what is a stakeholder in terms of customers. So let's start with types of customers. On the external customers, we can be referring to wholesalers. They buy directly from a manufacturer, will generally mark up the product to resell it, and often will sell it to retailers. So, or they may sell it to other individuals and other groups or organizations. We have what we refer to as an intermediate user. So an intermediate user would buy directly from the manufacturer, then they use the product to manufacture another product. So for me, so oftentimes I am an intermediate user as a manufacturer in that I buy spools of 3D printing filament, and then I use that filament. So that's the product that I buy, and then I use that filament to manufacture the products that I sell. So I'm an intermediate user of 3D printing filament. So you also have a retail market. So retailers generally buy from manufacturers or from wholesalers or immediate users, and then they sell directly to the consumer. Now, again, in some of the objects and items that I make in my independent business, I sell direct to consumer, of course, but I also have a few retailers that also will buy my product from me. I will generally give them a discount or some type of a percentage off of my suggested retail price that allows them to turn around and sell my product and make a profit from it as well. And that's a very mutual benefit for both of us. So they get product to sell without having to worry about how to manufacture it. They can make a margin and make a markup on it. And the idea for me as the manufacturer, while I don't make as much in terms of profit on those sales, I certainly hope that that I'm selling that through a distribution network where I can increase the total number and increase my sales and my profit margin on those sales by selling a lot more that I would not be able to reach through direct sales alone. So, and then of course, lastly, we have the consumers, who are basically, you are a consumer, of course. There's someone who acquires products or services for direct use. Now let's talk about our internal customers. The definition of an internal customer is someone who is dependent on your output. So, and that output might be information, it might be assistance, or it could be the product itself. So some of these internal customers are team members, workers on other shifts, workers in other departments, your supervisors, and of course salespeople as well. Synergy and goal alignment is very, very important. So we talk about, when we're looking and talking about goal alignment, we're talking about cooperation, working towards a common goal. So if you develop a lot of synergy in the group or with that goal, you're going to work better and achieve that a lot easier, and it's going to be much, much better for the organization as a whole. So when we're talking about goal alignment, we're talking about cooperating and encouraging cooperation. We're talking about sharing information freely. So remember that you are part of a larger group. So there should not be any type of turf wars, so to say, or us versus them mentality, which is very, very hard to kind of resist. So oftentimes it's like, okay, well, this department did this and that department did that. And sometimes you get those type of caustic type situations and roles, and those we want to try to avoid and use conflict resolution to get out of those type of turf wars. So we want to basically act to solve problems before they occur. So I don't know of any time when people are blamed for doing stuff where that really helps to get the job done. So common needs between both internal and external customers. Obviously, we need on-time delivery of the product or service. We want the highest possible quality. We want the lowest possible cost, and we want products that meet needs. So if you think that back to the first couple of weeks, we talked about what are needs and what's that Maslow's hierarchy, that pyramid, as far as the basic needs versus wants. So customer satisfaction is important for both external and internal customers. It is very, very important that we do try to exceed customer expectations. I don't know that that is always possible. Some customers might have unrealistic expectations, and in that case, it's important for the salespeople or for other people to kind of politely and in a politically correct way try to kind of change or influence the customer's expectations to a more realistic view. So as we talk about different customers, most of the time in manufacturing, we're really talking about production. And production focuses either on procedures, and those procedures might be how to maintain equipment, how to use the different tools, or how to actually manufacture parts. They might also include procedures on how to pack a part or how to ship and who to ship. So we've got to kind of pay attention to what those procedures are and use those to help meet and exceed customer expectations. We need to consider the customer's needs and wants. Now remember, needs are, of course, food, clothing, shelter, security, and environment were the 5 basic needs. So a want is basically any product that's really not a necessity. But it's a desired and highly desirable by consumers. So we also talk about needs and wants might vary, and oftentimes those wants we might need some type of customization. Or customers might want customization, and that's important to understand when we're talking about what a customer needs and wants as well. So it's very, very important as a manufacturer who's producing these products to identify what those are in terms of customer needs and wants. We might have the greatest widget ever. However, if the customer doesn't really need it, so they're not going to buy it. Or if we can maybe try to create some type of an artificial want or desire for that which will help us to sell it. But we may basically need to be looking at our customer and what their needs or wants are in order to help develop and make sure that we're selling the product that we're making and manufacturing. Oftentimes, if we are making similar products, competition is and can be very, very fierce. So there's always competition involved. So think about the competition in the cell phone manufacturing between Apple and Samsung, and what it is that maybe might entice a customer to buy one over the other. So we certainly also want to make sure that those products then, also because of competition, that we want those products to meet and exceed our customer expectation, because we really don't want to lose that customer to our competitors as well. So looking at external customer needs, so we're going to basically kind of fixate on the external customer. So those needs fall into these categories: function, quality, price, availability, and customization. So function, of course, is whether the product does what it is designed to do. So quality is the product dependable? Now, it's important for us as a manufacturer or for the different organizations to define that quality and to use customer feedback or customer perceptions in determining what that quality should be. Price. So price is very, very much a customer want, probably more so than a need. And there is a lot of price perception out there in terms of, does that price really, really reflect the quality or the number of features or what that particular item can do, or is there a true idea of a value behind what you're paying for? Availability also comes into play. So right now we are about ready to go into the Christmas buying season. A lot of times, especially back in the 80s and 90s, there was usually some big must-have toy that came out every holiday season. You could usually buy it in October, and of course by December they were all sold out because the manufacturer underestimated the number of people who would want that, so they underproduced, and then of course that drives up demand and drives up pricing, leads to scalpers there in the toy industry for the hot toy item of the year. Now I just use that hot toy Christmas toy as an example of availability, but there are lots of other areas where that applies. Certainly, we've all lived through COVID and remember about the great toilet paper panic of 2020 as the availability of toilet paper and other products really came into question and whether we were going to run out. So, and then lastly, of course, is customization. Can the product be ordered with features that a customer wants? Can it be personalized? My wife and I were shopping recently. She brought into, she was looking at different purses and kind of showing me these really, really expensive baubles in Von Maur. They're at the mall in Forsyth, and she was really talking about how it is a big thing right now due to TikTok trends to basically get these certain types of baubles and kind of accessorize or customize your purse or your bags for women. So that's an area, of course, where customization kind of might be done by the purse manufacturer themselves. So in this case, it was a really, really famous, expensive brand where the purses sell for like $300 to $500, and then these little trinkets that they added on were also somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 to $200. I really didn't quite understand it, but apparently that is a customer want, and those customers really, really get some type of a thrill about ownership of that because of the demand that has been presented by influencers and other people on the different social media. On the same token, like just a couple of tables away, were less expensive purse accessories there as well. So customization is an area there where the manufacturer of the product themselves can go and customize, or you can also have other manufacturers that kind of take advantage of trends and do that as well. So, and I think back to a trend back when my kids were little, when Crocs first came out, and they had all these little, I forget what they were called, Zigbees or Ziffies or Jiffies or something like that they would kind of customize and their Crocs with these little buttons that they would put into the Croc. And of course, that also became kind of like a trend and a fad for people there to use as well. So lots of different areas where manufacturers and other manufacturers can kind of capitalize on trends in terms of customization for meeting customer needs.